Dzięki serdeczne za przybycie i za spotkanie w Wieruszowskim Domu Kultury. Dzisiaj mamy takie organizacyjne spotkanie z naszymi wolontariuszkami, które są tutaj 8 dni w Wieruszowie.
Cześć. My name is Rana. I'm from Egypt. I'm 22 years old. I live in Cairo, the capital. I study marketing and international business. And what I love to do is mainly reading, traveling, some listening to music, and I love playing sports. So my favorite, what I also love to do is swimming. Yeah, the kind of sports. So yeah. And probably most of you are wondering, why are we here? Well, I'm going to talk about me. Why did I come here? Why did I choose Poland? Because for me, as I said, I love traveling and I love experiencing new cultures and getting to know new people and actually feel how they might put an impact on me. So it's always one of my passions and it drives me to live actually. So I chose Poland especially because at the past few travels I've been just focusing on Asia, but I've never actually encountered Europe much. So I chose Poland because I actually read not a lot, to be honest, but I read some about the Polish culture, and I also wanted to experience this myself. So yeah, that's why I'm here, and I'm really, really very happy to meet you all, and I'm really happy to stay in Poland.
Okay, dzień dobry. So, I'm Carol, and I'm 20 years old now. So I live in Hong Kong, and I live in a place near the airport. So it's kind of a suburb area in Hong Kong. And so what I love to do, I love reading, and I love sleeping, eating, and also traveling. So traveling is also my passion because I love to see what do people like in different countries, what they behave, and when you go to the different countries, you can see a lot more difference. It's like stepping out of your comfort zone. So my next goal would be traveling alone to some other different countries. And also, why I choose this volunteering project is because, first of all, I love traveling, and Europe is a continent that I have not been visited yet. So it would be very nice for me to, spend a lot of time here to interact with people here. And at the same time, because I studied history during my secondary school, I would really like to see all the historical sites and the facts that I studied in the book in person. So it would be very nice for me.
So my name is Alice. I am from Brazil. I'm 19 years old. I'm studying material engineering. I'm still in the third year. Okay, so I live in São Paulo. It is the biggest city in Brazil, and I live in São Paulo during the week. And on weekends, I always travel to countryside to visit my parents. I'm just studying, but what I usually like to do, I also like to read books, listen music, sleep and eat. That I don't practice sports and I'm not good with music, but and also what I love, my passion, can say that is travel. Like you can travel when you read a book, you can travel when you are listening to a music in the car, or you can travel when you pay a flight ticket and you go to a different country. So I think why I like to travel that much, because is you can like learn different ways to do the same thing. So I can like learn that my lifestyle is not the only one, it's not the best, not the worst, but is I can like learn another options, what I can do, what is best, what is not that bad, that good. So that's why like my passion, and why I'm choose Poland, and why I'm my volunteer, because before I came to this project, this volunteer project in Poland, I stayed 1 month in Germany with a friend. And when you travel just for tourists, it's like a completely different experience than when you do a volunteer job. When you do a volunteer, you get inside the culture. You can learn how the people live, like the really traditional food, not the touristic stuff, but really how those people in that country live. So that's why I think that the volunteer job is like such an interesting experience for you. You can learn much more about the culture of those people. And Poland, because also because I want to go to Europe, and I take Poland because I think it's the one that with most rich history. So as Carol said, we can see everything that we studied, everything, like everything. You know, you see the church, and we see, like, we've been to different cities. We talk with old people, and they talk about us, about the history, about the wars, and everything that we said is like just turning to real. So we can just really believe of all the past.
Okay, so when I talk about Egypt, for example, if I'm going to talk about the language, we speak in Arabic. So I'm going to give a brief introduction of myself in Arabic. ازيكم عاملين ايه؟ انا اسمي رنا، انا من مصر. انا بس انا لسه متخرجة بقالي شهرين، وان انا بدرس في الجامعة الألمانية. انا بحب السفر قوي، وجيت هنا بولند علشان عايزة اتعرف اكتر عن الحضارة الأوروبية بالذات. ومبسوطة قوي ان انا قاعدة معاكم هنا، ويا رب يعني يكون ان احنا كمان ان انتم مبسوطين ان انتم معانا. Okay. Yes. So yeah, that was the like Arabic language. Talking about religion, because now we have Islam and Christianity. Back then, ancient Egyptians used to worship many gods, like for example the sun, the Nile. Don't want to get into details, but now we have Islam and Christianity. Islam is the majority. So you can see, for example, like 70% Muslims, 30% Christians. Yes. And talking about the food, for example, we have many traditional dishes, such as, for example, koshari. So it's a mix of koshari. It's a mix of rice, macaroni, lentils, hummus, fried onions, tomato sauce, and garlic vinegar. Just like, yeah, it's a bomb actually. And we also have molokhia. It's a kind of soup. It's a green soup actually. So it's you get those molokhia leaves, and you smash them into tiny pieces, and you mix it with chicken soup, and then you have your molokhia soup. You usually eat it with rice and chicken. And talking about the desserts, we have basbousa. It's very sweet. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a kind of pastry, sugar. I don't know. But it's very sweet. You should come to Egypt and try it for yourselves, though. Yes. And if I'm going to talk about the local Egyptians, the manners, for one thing, Egyptians, they tend to be overprotective about their friends and their family, and they always feel like they're part of your life. For example, if you're a foreigner and we never ever allow you to stay in a hotel. You would always have to stay in an Egyptian home. If you have a friend, he would never let you stay in a hotel. And they always have the need to give you everything, to do everything they can to make you feel happy during your stay. For example, provide you with a lot of food, nearly cover all your expenses, take you to many different places, introduce you to his friends, to let you engage more into the Egyptian culture. So yes, and we tend to share food. That's like one of the Egyptian, yes, just like exactly Brazil. We tend to share food because we think that it's yes, because we think that it's like what's yours, what's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. So
Okay, so for Hong Kong, we speak Cantonese, and it is the major language we use for communication. Like, we speak to our friends and family in Cantonese. But the official language we have three, like Cantonese, English, and Mandarin. We speak English because we were a British colony, so we have to learn English since kindergarten. And it's like, it's actually quite interesting that because in Hong Kong, most of us got in touch with English since we were very young. So during our daily conversation, it's always a mixture of Cantonese and English. And we have a new language called Chinglish, but it's very hard to explain. So yeah. And the third language is Mandarin. Although this is the official language, we just have this as an official one because we belong to China, but we don't usually communicate with this language. So, and for the religion, we do not have an official religion for Hong Kong, but like for one portion of people, one portion of population, they don't believe in any religion. Like, we don't have any religious belief. And for the other portion, sometimes they belong to Catholic and Christian and also Buddhism. So Catholic and Christian is because yeah, you know, the Western culture, and Buddhism is mainly affected by Chinese culture. And at the same time, because Hong Kong is like there it is a place that welcome many foreigners, so there are a lot of Pakistans living in Hong Kong too, so they also believe in Muslim. So this is like a multi-religions country. And for the manners, we don't really have much manners or any restrictions, but there is only one thing that Hong Kong people do not like to be recognized as Chinese, because maybe because Hong Kong is not having that much fame in international platform, that many foreigners would just see, oh, Hong Kong people is the same as Chinese. But in Asia, there is a lot of difference. Like we have different language, we have different word and different culture. So most of the Hong Kong people don't like to be recognized as you're just Chinese like that. And for the food, so we have many local food like dim sum. We eat it in the Chinese restaurant, so we can have like bread with pork or soup dumpling, etc. And we also have curry fish ball, siu mai, and mixed noodle. Oh, there is one kind of local food called lo mein, and it's like boiling the instant noodle and dried it and mixed it with different seasoning like spicy sauce, whatever sauce you can have, and just eat it. And also for the dessert, we have egg tart, egg balls. It's like mixing the egg, milk, and sugar together and use a machine to bake it, and after that you can taste it.
Well, in Egypt, we have the national sport is football. So basically, we have two national teams. We have Al Ahli, which is the red team, and Al Zamalek, which is the white team. People tend to be overly enthusiastic and overly excited about football. So the hardcore fans of the Al Ahli are called Al Ahlawiya, sometimes Ultras Ahlawi, but never mind. And their traditional or their symbolic color is red. And Al Zamalek, the strict fans of Zamalek are called White Knights. Their symbolic color is white. I'm a Zamalek fan. So. Yeah. And
We don't have national sports in Hong Kong. Sports is not very popular.
I love working out. I love listening to music and hanging out with friends.
Okay. I love running because it's like just it's become a habit for me, like going to run every day. And also I love sleeping because I always like the feeling of laying on bed doing nothing. I usually put all my energy on something else.
Czy jaka jest najlepsza potrawa, jaką zjedliście w Polsce?
The what? Pierogi.
Kolkrati. Kolkrati.
I ate, yes, pomidorówka. I ate it at a host family. I would never forget it. And rosso also. Yes, yes, yes. Actually, I love Polish food. It didn't disappoint me.